maybe what I want you to do, I know you've seen a lot, more especially the mistake of parents. The mistake of parents that, I mean, directly or inversely directly or anyhow directly impact negatively on the lives of their children. Maybe you want to share one or two more examples so that parents of young children can learn and be deliberate about training their children. And then maybe other side, the only way some parents think you train is in beating and kicking and doing whatever, and then backing themselves up with the scripture, even though I know scripture is right. A young mother with e.t.c. So they beat that omo as if he's a weary.
I know.
You understand? So, I mean, of course, I don't spare the rod, spoil the child. I understand that. But when parenting is about kicking and doing everything else, and then the third category, Sister Buki, I've seen parents that treat their children maybe the way their parents treated them when they were younger. Or they take it off their children, what they never got from their parents when they were growing up. And then they suffer their children as though their children were the ones that never made them have the type of either training or childhood or whatever that they ought to have enjoyed. I don't know whether you've encountered things like that.
Yes.
I really want you to share experiences with parents, I mean, watching through it all today.
Okay. Thank you, Oak. I will give 2 examples as you requested. Then I will talk about parenting styles and then generational patterns. Okay, now, there was this case of a young guy. It was at the teenagers program we anchored. After telling them what we expect of them for their destinies, to bloom and all that, one guy will be about 19. He said something, he made a contribution. He said that his dad is a pastor, but that for whatever reason, his dad does not trust him. That his dad is based outside Lagos and only comes home on weekends. And that all the dad would say to him is, I know you are a hooligan. I know that you are a gangster. You are a member of this and that. I know you're always following bad gang. He will everything negative. This boy said everything that his father was saying, he had never done any of them or gone near them. He said, but he had made up his mind from thenceforth that he would start doing everything the dad had said. It took a lot of counseling. That this is your own destiny. Your daddy is saying, I mean, his behavior is at the level of his understanding. Don't because of that ruin your own life. Before God intervened with this boy. So what's the point there? Never utter contrary things about your children. Even if you see them doing the wrong thing, you have to counsel, not to talk to them and say, but I know that you can, nothing good can come out of you. I know that you can, And you know what? I would have said that maybe the parents were not very enlightened, but I've seen cases. In fact, I had a case of a man who used to work in the oil company, who was saying, the wife was reporting to me that what should she do about this case? The man will run down their son, ruining the boy's self-esteem. I don't know what he had in mind. You could erroneously have it in mind that maybe if I talk like this, that will help him. But he didn't realize what he was doing. So under no circumstance should any parent utter any negative thing about their child. Even the child that has gone astray, you bring them back by confessing positive and prophesying over them. Not to talk of those who are innocent, that you are prophesying evil upon them. There should be that element of trust. And I want you to know that children appreciate it greatly when they know they are trusted. And it helps them and guides them to watch their steps. That is one story. There was another case of a daughter who said, if this is what marriage is about, if what I am seeing my parents practice in marriage is what marriage is all about, then count me out of marriage. Because the parents, they are like, do I say cat and mouse or Tom and Jerry? Never agreeing on anything. Talking down on each other. Disagreeing before the children. Not in any way role models. These are the things that parents need to watch. A 1-year-old is saying the way you are relating. Not to talk of preteens, teenagers who are forming opinions and who are taking decisions, life decisions, based on what you are doing. Parents need to be very, very careful. So those are the examples. There are several, but we don't have time. Now, we talk about parenting styles. There are majorly 4 parenting styles. The one that our culture is used to, which we grew up with, is called authoritarian. Authoritarian, where the parents will just hand out rules and boundaries without explanation. But you know what? It worked in our generation. Number one, these are the parents who have taught us values. These are parents who are available for us. These are parents who we know have our best interest at heart.
That's true.
Yeah, so it worked. But authoritarian parenting cannot work with this Gen Z. Why? We all know why. The exposure, the internet, the pressure, the knowledge. So I will run through all of them and take them one by one. Authoritarian parenting, I've talked about that. Lord and master parenting. Number 2, permissive parenting. Number 3, neglectful parenting. And then authoritative parenting. So authoritarian is the Lord, master. I'm the daddy. I'm the natural African, parenting, which worked in our generation but might not work now. Number 2, permissive. These are the parents who are not available. Parents. Now, let me tell a story to just show you an example of a permissive parenting. A permissive parent. There is this woman who was a top level officer at the bank, and the husband too was a busy man. I don't know in what industry, so they were never available. So of course, they have maids at home, and they left the care of the child. The children were used to having anything they wanted. The children were in control, as it were. So this child was sent abroad, and for whatever reason, I don't know the reason, I don't know what transpired between the parents. Their son was based in the US, and the dad came, but the boy wasn't communicating with them. So the dad got the location of the boy, traveled to that place in the US and stayed in a hotel. Then, after 3 good weeks of communicating with the boy, I'm in this hotel, and the boy didn't show up, the man had to come back. And I was wondering, there is no way this is about parenting. There must be something the dad did. I do not know the family directly. Somebody told me this story because the person called me and said, I'm in your estate. I came to check a property that one Baba wants to sell. And he told me that story, that the Baba said, this is a property I had reserved for that my son, but now let me sell it and use my money for whatever I want to use it for. I do not know what happened to the mother. Peradventure, the man maltreated the mother and the boy is angry. I do not know. But how can it be that the child, a son, that the father sent abroad, would stop communicating? There must be a story behind it. The person telling me was saying, that bad child, that ingrate. I said, you had better don't commit a sin, because there's a story behind this story. So, permissive parenting, I don't know how the child was brought up. I don't know what led to what he did. Then there is neglectful parenting, uninvolved. That is carelessness. Do you know some parents are so careless that they are not observant, whether the child is being abused right under their noses, whether the child is locking himself up in the room and withdrawn, they won't even notice anything. That's another one, another type of parenting. Then, authoritative is the best parenting style. An authoritative parent is very firm. They set boundaries. They said, please get it right. Authoritarian is the Lord and Master. This is authoritative. Authoritative, the best parenting style, okay? These ones, they already live the lifestyle of love. They live the lifestyle of, I am there for you, such that when they give any rule, the children are sure that, I know that I trust my parents' judgment. And authoritative parents also, they explain the reasons behind their boundaries and the consequences. For example, if a child comes and says, I want to attend a party, or I want to do a sleepover with my friends, an authoritarian parent of in the past that we knew, they would just say no, and that ended it. But an authoritative parent would say, no, I cannot allow that. You are too precious to me. Where you are going, I don't know who and who will be there. I cannot expose you to harm just like that. And I think with that explanation, any reasonable child would comply with their decision. Okay? But a permissive parent, a permissive one will say, well, just go where, oh yeah, driver, take her there. No monitoring, nothing. They just let them have their way. They let them do whatever they want. So, authoritarian, permissive, neglectful, authoritative. We must be authoritative parents. Now, you cannot say that because your parents used the authoritarian style and you turned out right, that you will do the same with these children. No. You cannot just follow the pattern of your parents. You have to know who you are dealing with. And you know what? Even you're dealing with your children, if you have 3 or 4 of them, you cannot deal with them in the same way because every child is unique. Every child must be dealt with according to the need of that child. And this is why I like to tell parents that parenting is a great assignment. Parenting is a ministry. We are accountable to God. And we must ensure and do our best to see that every single child turns out right.